What's up, everybody? This is Soundbites here. So today I have a absolutely insane life story to share with you guys. But before we jump into the video, I just want to put a quick disclaimer out there that anything and everything that was done in this story to make it possible, do not replicate it, as I was very stupid and you will find out throughout this video. So please don't replicate anything that was done. But with that out of the way, let's jump straight into the life story. So this takes place back in 2017. I was 17 years old at the time, and at this point I was just money hungry. I was literally looking for anything to make money, right? And I was doing all the wrong things to make money. Everything that you should not do, I was doing it. And obviously that is really stupid, dumbest way to go about things, but that's how I was doing things at the time. And pretty much I was selling, kind of trapping a little bit, and I was looking to obtain some weapons, right? So my friend refers me somebody and he's like, hey, he can get you exactly what you need, right? So I hit this guy up, have no idea who he is, right? All I know is that his name is Loyalty, and that's not his real name, obviously. So I assume he's probably somewhat of a good guy, right? He's loyal. So pretty much I hit him up and I tell him what I need, and he's pretty much like, I got you. So I'm like, that's great. He's got what I need. Awesome. And I wasn't really looking for a lot, right? I was looking for about 2 or 3 items, right? And pretty much we worked out a deal that I was going to trade him some substances and some money for these items, right? So we arrange a time, we arrange a meeting place, we get all that settled out of the way, and he's pretty much coming from New York City to Long Island, so he's going to be taking the train, right? I tell him, hey, look, I can meet you at one of the stations that comes out towards me, and we'll just kind of meet in the middle, that kind of deal. So he was like, all right, I'm good with that. Me and all my friends, pretty much, we go to the arrival point, right? Me and him don't exchange any texts between now and then because he's paranoid that somebody's tapping him, right? So pretty much no texts are being exchanged at this point. So I get there about 15 minutes prior to his arrival time just to kind of check out the area, see if anybody's like hanging around, whatever. And I don't really see anything out of the ordinary, right? Pretty much he hits me up, he says, I'm here. I look for him and I see him walking across, right? And I mean, he looks cool as a cucumber, right? I'll give him that. He looked really cool and calm. Comes up, he's like, hey, what's going on? He was like, hey, my friend's about to come pick me up. We're gonna hop in the V and we're pretty much gonna go straight out of here and we're gonna go do this deal. And I was like, okay, sounds good. He's like, hey, look, before we get into this though, he was like, you mind if I just pat you down real quick? He's like, you can check me too, I got nothing. He was like, I just gotta make sure that you're good, right? And I'm like, all right, as long as you let me check you, you can check me, we're good. Pretty weird, right? We're both patting each other down, we're both checking to see if we have weapons, whatever, and we're both clean, right? So pretty much he's like, all right, we're good. Here comes my friend, and friend rolls around, right? And it's some female, never met her in my life, blonde girl, and there's about 3 dudes in the car that I've never met in my life, right? So now I'm getting pretty nervous because there's 3 guys in the car, so the car's packed, and it's also him and me, and it's a small car. It's like a Honda Civic, like from the 90s. It's small. So pretty much I'm really nervous, right? And he's like, look, obviously there's a lot of people in the car, it's just gonna be me and you, is that cool? And I'm like, all right, you know what, I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna just say fuck it, like let's just fucking do it. All my friends are like, are you sure you want to do that? Like they pull me aside, they're like, are you sure you want to do that? Like my friend is like, hey, he's like, I know this guy, but I've really only met him twice, so are you sure you want to do that? I was like, I'm positive, let's just get it out of the way, right? Pretty much go to hop in this dude's car. He really quickly asked my friend, he's like, hey, you know if you can spot me on an ounce? My friend's like, yeah, sure. Throws an ounce into the car because he had some bud on him. Throws him an ounce. He's like, all right, cool, I'll pay you back later. Pretty much we roll out. We're driving down these long, windy roads. We wind up pulling off into a fucking abandoned neighborhood, pretty much. All the houses on this street are straight up abandoned. And I'm getting pretty nervous because we're literally in an abandoned neighborhood. We're not in the greatest area either. If things go south, no one's really gonna come looking for me for a while, right? And it's really late at night. It's like 2 in the morning at this point. He tells me, he's like, yo, you got the shit? Like, you got everything all straightened out? Everything's counted, right? I tell him, yup, give him the stuff. And now the things that I gave him, it took him a while to count it out, right? He's sitting there going slow as shit counting it. And I'm sitting there trying to be patient. And I'm like, hey, look, can I check out the stuff you got for me? Like, is that cool? He's like, yeah, my buddy's gonna go pop the trunk. So pretty much the girl pops the trunk. The passenger gets out, goes around the car to the trunk, passes the trunk, comes back around to my side, which is on the driver's side, and opens my door. Now, I already know immediately what's gonna go on, right? I already know. I've been rehearsing this in my head, and he pretty much pulls out a revolver and he's like, hey, look, just get out of the car, be real smooth, and make any fucking moves, and I'm gonna blow your head off. And he's holding the gun about half a foot away from my face, right? So I'm really fucking nervous, right? Obviously, I have a revolver pointed right at my skull, right? So pretty much I do exactly what he says. I get out the car because it is not worth my life, right? A few $1,000s worth of shit is not worth my life. So I hop out the car. He's like, let me see your phone. He powers off my phone, shuts it off, sets it on the ground, kind of kicks it far away from me. And he's like, look, turn around, count to 1 minute, 1 Mississippi all the way up, walk that way, and don't turn back. He's like, if you turn back, I'm gonna shoot you. I was like, okay. So I literally walk, turn away. I hear them skirt their tires. Me being a dumbass, I turn around immediately, look at the license plate, I memorize it, and then they peel off and they're gone. And I pretty much, phone's powered off, power it back on, I hit up my friend, and I'm pretty far away from my friends, it turns out. Like, we actually made it a little bit of ways in terms of like going down streets. Like, on foot, it took me about 30 minutes to get to my friends, like, and I was pretty much jogging. I get there, and my friends were like, dude, like, you literally got robbed of everything. I was like, yeah, literally everything. I had like $500 cash that I gave him and a few $1,000s worth of shit, right? So he got away with a lot of shit, and it was about the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. The most stupidest decision I have ever made in my entire life, right? Pretty much, that's the end of the life story. As I said in the beginning, do not replicate anything that was done. Obviously, it is really dumb and just purely stupid. But if you guys did enjoy the life story, leave a like, leave a comment, please subscribe. All the support helps. Love you guys. Soundbites out.